Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing? Hope you've had a good day. I've had another day of radiotherapy. I'm still here, which is good. Feeling pretty good. Um, Interestingly, just as a little aside, I have noticed, and I'm sure many of you have noticed if you've watched the videos, I am piling on the pounds. My face, I don't know if you can tell, my face is definitely a lot fatter than it was. That's probably partly to do with the amount of drugs I'm on, but I tell you what, I am eating like I could eat a bodybuilder under the table right now. No word of a lie. The amount of it's a bit strange. I will have a full meal and then probably 5 minutes after be like, right, I'm hungry. I can eat again. So I am eating an awful lot. For all those people that over the years have been incredibly jealous of the fact that I never really put on weight and found it hard to put on weight, it's happening, guys. I it's coming on. I am piling on the pounds, which is good because I can fit into my clothes again. And I've definitely never weighed as much as I weigh now. The only problem, which is a little bit tricky, is I've got absolutely no energy to do any kind of exercise. So generally, I am just getting really fat, which is going to be a problem. However, you know, I don't think I'm going to be around long enough to get really obese. So that's kind of not a problem, really. So there's another tick for not being around too long, in that I can eat as much as I want and I'm not going to get obese. But yeah, so that's going on. But the other thing I want to talk about was really weird, well, not weird experience, but experiencing at the moment this whole thing of shopping and buying stuff and not buying stuff. In that, um, like at the moment, because I am working, I'm doing bits and bobs on the laptop and kind of trying to be productive, but also at the same time, I'm trying to just keep myself occupied. So I'm going into town lots, kind of looking around shops and just generally trying to keep myself occupied. And one of the ways to do that is to spend money, right? That's a problem when you're not earning money for a start. So I have to be kind of restrained because I'm not earning any money. So I can't keep spending endlessly. But the other weird thing is that it's kind of like, it's really weird putting stuff into perspective. Like, so for example, today we met up, myself and Katie met up with a friend of ours at Costa on Tritton Road. So for people in Lincoln that know, that it's in a big retail park, and there's TK Maxx and there's an Asda and there's a Next and stuff. Anyway, so before we met up for coffee, we went to TK Maxx. Now TK Maxx was, and probably still is, one of my favourite shops. Love a good shop in TK Maxx. The weird thing is though, it's like now shopping has kind of taken on this whole new thing of where I might see a nice jacket. I saw a nice jacket today, or a nice shirt, or a pair of jeans, and normally you go, oh yeah, that would look great in my wardrobe. Yeah, I'll buy that. But kind of right now, there's this like there's this little thing in my head which is like I'm looking at clothes and I'm looking at stuff, going, oh yeah, that would be really nice. But why would I buy that? Because to be honest, I'll get a few months out of it. I'm spending money on clothes that I won't actually get to wear for that long, and then it's just other clothes for Kate and other people to get rid of. And it's the same for like everything, like magazines um, or anything you can think of. I'm kind of shopping, but kind of looking at things, going, "Oh yeah, that would be great. Oh, that would be brilliant. Oh, I really like that." But actually, do I need it? Well, to be honest, if I don't need it in the next few months, then no. So kind of yeah, shopping has lost. I'm not gonna lie. I love shopping. Um, and yeah, I love buying things. I don't, quite a few people do, but it's kind of taken on this really weird turn of like the kind of the novelty of shopping has gone somewhat. So even if I go into town thinking, oh, I'm going to buy something, I kind of end up looking at things going, actually, I don't really, why bother? Like, I'm just spending money on stuff that, yeah, I'll get to use for a few months, but really, there's no longevity in it. So there's no real point. So yeah, it's kind of, I was thinking a bit today about that whole thing of, yeah, things that you want versus things that you need. And actually, how often do we kind of we feel that we need, oh, I need that jacket, oh, I need those shoes. With me, it's definitely I need those trainers. Um, but actually, really, do we? And ultimately, does that make us happier? Does that, you might get that little buzz of, oh, I bought something new and it's exciting, but kind of long term, really, is that the best use of your money? And I'm not saying that you shouldn't shop and you shouldn't buy nice things, because you should, especially if you have longevity in your life. Absolutely, buy nice things. But it was just an interesting experience for me, that kind of the whole, going into town and shopping, and that whole experience has very much changed. Um, and I end up just kind of, looking around going, oh yeah, they're nice things that I could have. Um, and I'd like to say that the money I would spend on those kind of things I've saved and I'm going to invest and use well, but that's absolute rubbish, because like I said, I'm eating so much at the moment. All I'm doing is spending it on food. So, for example, at the moment I can't walk past a Greggs or a Curtis's without buying a sausage roll, because I'm slightly obsessed. And again, I feel a bit like a pregnant woman in that I am getting cravings. So I have massive cravings at the moment for specific foods, and it's kind of like, unless I get that food, my day is not going well. And it's kind of random foods as well, from random places. But yeah, I've definitely got a food addiction. I'm definitely putting on the weight. And yeah, I feel pretty good. Radiotherapy's going well, guys. Still getting my brain zapped. So Monday is my final brain zapping day. With regards to side effects, I am noticing I'm tired. So it kind of gets to, some of you will say no change there. Then yeah, I get it. But it gets to the afternoon and I'm pretty zonked and kind of need to sit and chill. But yes, that's all going well. But yeah, I do have a slight addiction to pork pies, sausage rolls at the moment, and weirdly, kind of my biggest obsession at the moment is Pizza Express. Their Polo Pesto is to die for. Excuse the pun, but on a regular basis, I'm kind of thinking, oh, pizza. So I am spending a lot of time in Pizza Express, chomping down their Polo Pestos. I think they might be looking at me like I'm a little bit weird and obsessed, because I'm in there quite a lot at the moment. Um, so yes, it's all good. I'm still here. Still kind of got that overhanging, not, I wouldn't say worry, but there is that thing of, oh my goodness, I really hope I don't get a massive headache and have to get rushed into hospital again and nearly die. That it would be good if that didn't happen. So we're still staying positive, still being kind of proactive, and feeling good about life, because that's the only way to be. Not rocking in a corner yet, not letting this thing beat me. Yeah, like I said, potentially radiotherapy finishes Monday. Rumour has it hair loss potentially can start up to 10 days after radiotherapy. So 10 days after Monday is where I may lose my hair. But that's not a guaranteed, but we will see. So that might happen. And yeah, like I said, feeling a little bit tired, but tiredness is tiredness. At the end of the day, you can get over it. So I'm not yet on the kind of hardcore energy drinks, but it's all about feeling tired, go for a walk around the block, perk myself up, get on with some work and get on with some stuff, and not let tiredness beat me, because quite frankly, I'm rubbish if I just lay on the sofa. I'm not really interested in that. I'm interested in cracking on and getting on with some projects, getting on with some work. So I've been a busy boy today, putting some things together that I hope come together quite quickly. And yeah, we can kind of put together, because ultimately, like I always say, I'm going to say it again, choose your day. You can choose how you live your day, choose how, what attitude you have. And even with kind of tiredness and kind of radiotherapy, which I have to be honest is getting a little bit boring, it's getting a little bit tiresome, because I'm in hospital every day, even though it's for pretty much 20 minutes. It kind of takes time out of your day. yeah, it's kind of fitting other things around that and being proactive, getting things done. Yeah, putting plans together and not kind of just lazing around. Because, well, for those of you that know me well, know that that's not me and that's virtually impossible. So, yeah, for better or worse, you will be hearing from me. You will be seeing things that I'm going to be doing to keep my sanity, if anything. Um, but yeah, no, it's all good. But yeah, with regards to shopping, it is an interesting thought. You know, actually, when you spend money on stuff, do you need it or do you want it? I'm very much in the position where I'm kind of, well, pretty much buying things that I feel I need. Um, Hence my big splurge on a dishwasher. I know it's not an exciting purchase, but it was a purchase that we needed, so I have bought a dishwasher. Um, so yes, that's as exciting as my shopping life is getting. Um, but yeah, if you don't, you know, if you want it at the end of the day and you don't need it, relax, chill out, save your money. If it's not important, it's not important. And I am a shopaholic like the rest of you. It's just my personal realization is that I'm not really going to be spending money on a lot of stuff because I don't actually need it, and it will just clutter up my house. And I'm still trying to streamline my house, get rid of the stuff that we don't need, and kind of decluttering the house is helping declutter my mind. I like to think, which is tricky, admittedly, when you have a 4-year-old with toys everywhere whose birthday is coming up very, very soon, knowing full well that there's going to be more toys coming into the house. So yes, very, very much on the case of decluttering. For those of you that have got children, you'll know it's that whole thing of you've got thousands of toys everywhere, little like plastic things that you end up standing on and end up in boxes and down the backs of sofas that your child kind of plays with occasionally, but do they really need it? I'm being a little bit militant, I have to admit, in saying, right, if he hasn't looked at it in a few days, it can go in the bin and he'll never know. I have to admit that's kind of my mentality at the moment. Bless him. So I will be removing some of the toys, but he's getting loads for his birthday soon, so that's all good. But yes, that's where my head's at the moment. So it's nearly the end now. Hang on, what day are we on? We're on a Wednesday today, so it's Thursday tomorrow. So only 2 days left of the week. Awesome. That'll be very exciting. Then it's the weekend. Very excited about that. I've got no major plans for the weekend, but I'm trying to be proactive, trying to work, trying to get things done. Just because, it's keeping my my sanity. My new prescription of drugs was picked up today. So like when you go, most people when you go to the pharmacy and you get your antibiotics or your paracetamol or whatever. Okay. Normally you get a nice little bag, yeah. So they put the drugs in kind of a nice little bag that you can hold on to. Absolutely crazy in that, kind of my prescription. When my prescription is picked up, it's carrier bag size, so it's kind of full on carrier bag with loads of boxes. So yes, I've the new batch has been picked up today for the next goodness knows how long, with goodness knows how many drugs. So we've got to find somewhere in the house to fit all of them, which will be very exciting. So yes, radiotherapy finishes Monday. Then I'm back on chemo, which will be interesting as well, because when you're on radiotherapy, you have to stop chemo. Okay, because basically, from what the consultant says, I don't know, I'm no expert, I just take the drugs. But basically, bottom line is, you take if you have chemo drugs at the same time as radiotherapy, they kind of don't work well together. So I've had to stop. So I haven't been on chemo over the last kind of 10 days, or for the 10-day treatment, I won't be on chemo. So I'm back on chemo, which will be interesting because chemo, potentially, that's the death by pooing drugs, and that's the the nastier side effects. Touch wood, thankfully, I didn't have any nasty side effects last time, so I'm really hoping when I crack back on with them next week, no nasty kind of side effects rear their head, and we can get through it, and it's all good. So yes, that's what's happening next week. But have a think about shopping. That's not to say that you shouldn't shop. It was just an interesting thought I had about why do we buy stuff? Do we buy it because we want it? Do we buy it because we need it? And if we just want it, does it actually make us feel better? Shopping used to make me feel great, but do you know what? I don't actually miss it. I mean, obviously, mentally, I'm in a very different place, as in, I'm not going to be around for long, so what's the point in buying loads of stuff that I don't get to use? But, it's just kind of it's an interesting thought and an interesting mindset of, why'd you buy stuff? Anyway, I'm going to go. Love you and leave you. I hope you all have a wonderful evening and a wonderful day tomorrow. I'm back in radiotherapy tomorrow, which will be very fun and exciting. Not. And I will keep you updated as to exciting movements and projects of what's going on. Some possibly Friday, possibly some big changes with regards to my office and things. I'll keep you informed with that. Some changes with regards to various things like that, and also a very, very, very good friend of mine has started his own very exciting project, which I haven't spoken to him about it yet, but I may kind of give you a sneak peek of something very exciting that's going on in Lincoln, which I want you to get on board with because it's super cool. And I think those of you who live in Lincoln will love it a lot. So, stay safe, have a good week, have a good sleep, and remember, choose your day, stay positive. It's all in your head. You've got the power to choose what kind of day you have. If you're having a crappy day, it might be down to you, so you might need to sort yourself out. Okay, good night everyone, take care, I'll speak to you very, very soon.